Aloha. Welcome to Emma Kupu Mitchell's monthly newsletter or Soulful Insights. I have decided that I would include from now on every month a short video, an update of what's been going on in my life, with my work, a little bit of personal story, and how I'm moving and evolving through this year. Hopefully these insights will be useful for you. So an update, this is more for my list of people that are global rather than the local community here in Hawaii that most of you know, probably if you read the newsletter, that I was 50 in May. And this for me brought up a lot of new questions around what I'm doing, where I'm going, how I'm choosing to spend my time and energy and attention. I have a twin sister, and she brought it to my attention that half our life at 50 is probably completed. You know, if we live to 100, that would be awesome. But a typical lifespan, even though 50, as I was reminded, is now the new 30, time and a number really doesn't mean so much. But I look back and I think, wow, this physical body of mine has lived on this earth 50 years, half a century. That's quite an achievement for anyone. And I always like to view things in a slightly different perspective to my twin sister. So rather than seeing it as half my life is completed, I view it as, wow, this is a stopping point, a crossroads in my life to review where I have been and what I've accomplished and experienced, and where I choose to move forward and go in the second phase of my life. And a lot of you know that I've studied numerology, intuitive numerology, now for a number of years. One of my main teachers is Ruth Dreher. Shout out to her. And I use these rather unusual, slightly strange forms to go through what I like to call a soul profile. So for those of you that don't know too much about numerology, it is the study of vibration and numbers on our life and how we can get a greater understanding of who we are in regards to our name, our family, and our date of birth. So I studied under Ruth Dreher, who looks at more the Pythagorean lineage of numerology, because there are many different lineages today. I usually go back to the root of teachings. That's just me. I love to learn from one of the original lineages. And Pythagoras looks at the quality of a life in relationship to the day, the month, and the year that they're born, and then who they choose to incarnate into the soul family and the physical body. So whether you chose to be male or female, and under what name you come in as. So on this soul profile, there's two aspects that we look at. One is the family and the names in your birth name. That really brings in energies from past lives, karma, and lessons and gifts that you are learning to evolve into and bring with you from other lifetimes. And certainly we choose the family, whether we like it or not, to learn and grow and evolve. So we can get a whole lot of information from your name at birth. That's the foundation. It's the soul essence of the whole consultation. The day, month, and year set up a vibration that's called different things in different lineages, and it sets up the lessons that the soul is here to learn and grow into. And then Pythagoras split our life cycle into 4 quadrants. 4 cycles or spaces. And I find that fascinating because the natural circadian rhythm, the compass of life and the wheel, particularly of seasons, is split into 4. So there's a lot of correlation. The first cycle of youth will go from when you're born until a certain point. And then we all have 2 inner cycles, the middle cycles of our life, that are 9 years. And then the last cycle is the cycle of maturity, that usually is the longest, and it runs from a certain period until we choose to leave this earthly plane. And I was looking at mine, and I actually started my cycle of wisdom, maturity, or an attainment vibration at 48. If you want to find out more about that, then feel free to kind of click the link below for your own soul consultation. I'm happy to do that. They are evolving. They'll be at this price just till the end of September, so you may want to jump on board with that. I'm going through this whole kind of remodeling, reviewing of where I'm integrating my own gifts and energy. And so there'll be a new revamp and a remodel of my website, and some of the ways I choose to focus my energy. And I am really consolidating my sound vibration, my alchemical sacred aromatherapy, anointing oils, my wisdom teachings of yoga nidra and spiritual meditation with numerology, and shamanic evolutionary astrology that I'm diving deep into. And so that will all culminate in more classes, probably online, as well as here locally in Hawaii and elsewhere, in teaching you all to understand who you are on a soul level and how we can embody these gifts and energies as we evolve and grow to navigate a much healthier, joy-filled, abundant life. So I wanted to share a little bit about that, because what I'm expressing and moving through, I'm sure all of you are feeling as well. And some of the classes locally here in Hawaii, I've kind of stopped and consolidated so that I can choose to spend more time on what I love. I wanted to highlight that this month is new moon, and each of these newsletters will probably come out around the new moon. That's how I'm setting up these natural forms and ways of communicating with you. But this new moon coming up on Saturday, August the 11th, we're in the energy of Leo, but we're in the last phase of an eclipse, the 3rd eclipse actually in this season. And we have a moon and a sun in Leo. So all of us will be feeling the energies of the heart. Leo energy is fire. It's about how we choose to share our creative fire, our energy, our outward expression of who we are through the heart. So tapping into creativity, passion, what we're called to step up into more of a courageous energy. You think symbolically of the lion or the lioness. So the soul-centered energy of Leo is not all about me, here I am. It's very much about shining the light and your gifts from the heart. But also take time this month, this new moon cycle, to set a sacred desire and align with the energies of your own heart. What is it that you're called to step into and expand and build upon? And what are you called to let go and create space with? August in numerology, it's an 8 month, but we add it to the universal year of the 11, 2018. So we have this 19 universal energy of the month. And look at that, the 1 and the 9 are like bookends. So we are reviewing all that in between The 9 is about reflecting and reviewing and completing an energy. And the 1 is calling us to step into something new. So particularly over this weekend, the 11/11 eclipse, really pay attention to where you are moving into, what you want to shine and illuminate in your life, particularly regarding heart-centered feelings and emotions, listening to your heart, not the head. Now, I have a couple of collaborations that I'm working with and excited about this month that I wanted to share. One is with my spiritual teacher, Janet Connor. I am really blessed to create or co-create with my guides and guiding spirits beautiful tinctures and sound-infused spritzers. And starting on the 22nd of August, Janet and my dear beloved friend Christine Penza, who is the co-host of a podcast we have together, the Awakened Woman Self-Care podcast. Christine Penza and Janet Connor have a new soul-directed online journey, a class. It's way more than a class, I have to say, called the Second Renaissance, or Renaissance, the English accent, tomato, the Second Renaissance. And I have created a unique oil, sacred alchemy oil and sound tincture to embody this creative spark, this new energy that's moving through all of us. And so I highly recommend that you go to janetconnor.com. I'll put a link in the newsletter to find out more about that journey. I'm joining because it's this time of year where we can really tune into more of, again, who we are and our creative spirit. But I wanted to just share some of the plant oils and energies that you can embody this month and that are in this oil. I got inspiration from a book that I'm reading. Love this book, and I love the author, Robin Wall Kimmerer. She is so poetic. This book's called Gathering Moss, but it's so much more than a book on moss. I have to say that. It teaches us a lot about how we can evolve and grow in relationship to nature. And so I have included the essential oil of oak moss in this tincture with orange and eucalyptus. Oak moss is a resin that comes from the oak tree, and it really embodies the spiritual energy of the forest and nature. It's very grounding, it's sensual, but it allows us to hear the messages of Mother Earth and the senses. So, excuse me, it's so hot here today. You can see me kind of glowing on the video. When we take a walk in nature, it could be a rainforest, it could be a woodland, it could be a pasture, wherever that is, think about how that makes you feel. The senses, the smells, the textures, everything around us is activated and brings us into this sense of wholeness, groundedness, and we can hear a lot more. So this sacred oil, orange, by the way, helps to clear the mind and clarity and stress and the attachment to fear and perfectionism and the mind working overtime. And eucalyptus globulus helps to open up and expand and clear the pathways around the lungs, the throat. So the energy or the synergy of this essence allows us to hear the divine messages of nature, and so we can communicate it out into the world. So this online journey is all about that. Christine Penza, check out her website, Art That Moves, amazing shamanic creative way shower that has fabulous online programs as well. So this month, I would invite you to really tune into your creative passion, that feeds the heart. And so with that, I will be including 2 sound meditations, the crystal bowls of morganite for the heart, and angel light, this beautiful white vanilla crystal bowl. 2 sound meditations in the newsletter that you can download and listen to. Crystal sound vibrations help our brainwave patterns to recalibrate and come into theta, a very slow, meditative space where we can really tune into our creative life force energy. So they are my gift for you this month that you can download and listen to. Please don't listen while you're driving or operating any machinery or distracted in any way, because they take you into a different space energetically. I highly recommend that you listen to them before going to bed, or if you have a creative practice or a ritual in the morning or whatever that is. They're 5 minutes. Listen to them regularly throughout this new moon cycle, and they will really help you tap into the energies of the heart and higher vibration of light and consciousness. So thank you for watching, for listening. Enjoy this next new moon month, and I'll see you next month. Sending you infinite aloha from Hawaii.